Okay, so the next little section in this chapter that we're going to deal with is circles and sectors. And there's a few little bits to make note of, so we're going to go through this slowly, okay? The page on the formula book that we're going to need is page 9 to get the relevant formulas for the sector, okay? So obviously you know what a circle is, could be called as a disc sometimes. And you've got the center point, and the distance from the center point to the edge is the radius, okay? So think the spokes of the wheels. A sector is the slice of a circle. So this would still be the center of a circle if you were able to continue around this. So that means those two can be called radii. Circle we're very familiar with. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. And then the length, which we probably should call the circumference, but in the formula book it's referred to as an L, is 2 pi r. So that's the length of all around the edge of the circle. So basically the perimeter of a circle. The sector of a circle, the formulas, like I said, are on page 9. So here's my formula book. And the ones that we need is when theta, which is the angle at the center, is in degrees, we use those two formulas. So in the formula book, you can see that this bit is the length of a full circle, and then theta over 360, because it's the slice that you have of the full circle. And then for the area of the sector, you'd have the full circle multiplied by theta over 360. Just in reference to the sector, when you're talking about the length, you're only talking about the curved bit, which is the arc. So you can see clearly here, if I highlighted, that if you use that formula, you're only talking about the arc length. It would not be the total perimeter. So if you want the total perimeter, you'd have to add on this or and this or afterwards. Because pi pops up in both formulas, or in all the formulas, we just have to make sure that we know what it is. So firstly, it is a number. But it is just a number, but it's quite awkward, as in it is a non-recurring, non-terminating decimal. So it's easier just to leave it and give it a letter because it's so special and it pops up so often. There's a few approximations for it. So we're quite used to saying that it could be 3.14 or it could be 3.142 or 22 over 7. But they are all rounded off versions of pi. For the most part, use the calculator button, okay? So if you're looking at these kind of calculators, you're talking about the yellow writing, so you press shift and that middle button to get pi up on your screen. If you can see it there. And in terms of pi, means that once you press equals, multiplied by 3, you leave your answer as 3 pi. Only afterwards, if you're asked to round, would you do something else. So you'd press your S to D then, and then you'd round it for whatever many decimal places or whole number, whatever it is that you're supposed to be looking for. So just to be really careful that you should be using the calculator button version of pi unless specified that you're to use one of those. Leave it in terms of pi unless afterwards it says round to whatever many decimal places or whatever. I hope this helps.